return to running, episode 2. We're back here at the track. It's currently 6:20 in the morning in July in Cyprus. Unless you do the session now, you're probably gonna bore to death. As you can tell by the fact that we've been here about 3 minutes and Dylan's already sweating.
After a mile warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Good. So, a couple of different aspects of the session today on the track. What we're going to do is we're going to do some 300 or 400 meters, kind of you go, I go. So some interval runs for certain kind of pacing and kind of running mechanics work. Then we'll do 4 or 5 of those each. We'll have a couple of minutes break, and then we're going to do some quicker stuff. Just because, again, I like to be moderately, or at least try and be moderately athletic, and do some kind of 60 or 80 meters. A little bit taller, a little bit more of an aggressive arm drive. But for now, I've got to get the long work in.
Decent.
So, I mean, start a kind of a quick jog. It's in sessions like this at 6:30 a.m. and you're already sweating, that you're absolutely terrified of the sun coming up. It's only going to get hotter.
What are you looking like, Jim? What are you looking like for pacing?
Huh?
What are you looking like for pacing?
320 per K?
Yeah, you said like a nice, quick jog. I checked out. I didn't do a single lap that was over 6 30-minute mark.
4 laps done. Bit of Kodak courage from me and Dylan there, as standard. As soon as the camera's on, go a little bit quicker than expected. So there, it's about the track's weirdly not quite 400 meters. I don't know why they've done this, but it's about 350 with all the markings. You can kind of tell because of where the start lines are set. But so it was about 350 meters-ish, 360. And it was about 320 to 330 per kilometer pace. So to have that in kind of intervals, it felt all right, actually. Mechanics felt good. You can tell as the sun's starting to kiss the other side of the track, it's getting a wee bit warmer, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, a few minutes rest.
I don't feel half as bad as I look.
You feel fine, you just look horrendous.
I'm dying on the outside. I'm standing so.
Yeah. A few minutes break, rehydrate, and then just into some snappy stuff.
Sweet.
Okay, so slightly snappier stuff now. Hence the reason I'm taking my top off. So aerodynamics, of course. So basically a little kind of rolling start in, and we're just going to do some 80 meter, kind of between 60 and 80 meter strides. Again, sprint mechanics are a little bit different to jog mechanics. A little bit taller, a little bit more of a knee lift, kind of minimizing the contact time, a bit more of an aggressive arm drive as opposed to just falling into that rocking cadence. I'm just kind of grooving that movement pattern. Left Achilles is screaming, so we'll see how we get on. We'll do this together.
Biff chit.
Yeah, biff chit, yeah. Okay, fist bump. Boom, slow jog. Good. Again?
I'm going to get some stuff. I want to beat you.
Okay. Right.
For anyone who doesn't understand the tap water situation, it just looks unhinged.
Session number 1 in the bag. Achilles feeling a little bit beaten up, but not too shabby. Not gonna lie, I had a nap between laptop pieces on work. Beef and rice noodles now for myself and fellow gluten intolerant training partner Dylan, aren't you, mate?
Yep, unfortunately.
Yeah, there we go. Get this down us, and in about 60 minutes from now, back to the gym for session 2.
Sweet.
Cool, so press the same button again.
This one. It's not the shot again, was it? Here's some B-roll for you. Oh, yeah.
Enjoy your 2-ingredient dinner.
Thanks. Cheers.
My Achilles is not having the best afternoon, but that's not too much of a surprise. As soon as you get a bit of blood pumping, I feel a lot better in a minute. But we're on the way to the gym now for a bit of an upper body pump leg session last night, which obviously you guys didn't see. Track session this morning, which obviously you did. So it makes sense if we're hitting the weight room again. Upper body is. So we'll start with the primer, do some heavy stuff, do some functional bodybuilding, see how we get on.
So one of the things I was just saying to Dylan off camera there is my priority when it comes to training changes a little bit when I have people around. I'm a lot less strict with my adherence to a program, a lot less neurotic about my adherence to the program than I used to be, mainly because I probably adhere to a program by default about 85 to 90% of the time anyway, but when I have people over and I have the opportunity to train with somebody else, I do think that preference is key. Like, I'm not in the Marines anymore, I'm not a Team GB athlete anymore, I want to enjoy the shit that I'm doing. So if I do have a training buddy and there's the opportunity to train with them and get the extra benefits of having some novel stimulus and some new stuff, then I will probably take that opportunity, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing today in the upper body session. All makes sense?
Yeah.
Excited to do some guns?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, primer to start with. So we'll do some med ball slams, make sure the tissues are nice and warm. Internally, externally they are, because it's 50 degrees in here. And then move on to some barbell work in a minute. Leaving the gym very sweaty, out of breath, having worked heart and lungs, but also having a little bit of a pump in the upper body is the objective of today's session. So that's the end point, but how we get there, the process, the way in which we achieve that goal, we can be pretty flexible with. That probably sounds pretty obvious to most people, but I was just so unbelievably rigid in my programming for so long. Commando training, straight into Iraq, straight into Afghanistan, straight into international sport. Very controlled, very structured, very directed with training and every lifestyle aspect outside of that. Some people might not necessarily like that level of like really narrow focus, but I actually did. I like the fact that there were extremely clear kind of metrics of progress and improvement. And into none of that was actually pretty tricky for me when I left those environments, and probably something that Dylan's struggling with a little bit now is too much freedom. It's only now, a decade and a bit on, that I'm able to relax a little bit more into that. Maybe it's practice, maybe it's just time, maybe it's maturity gained naturally in that frame. Maybe I feel like I've got a little bit less to prove. Maybe I'm just bloody tired from ping-ponging around different programs and objectives over the last decade, continually trying to prove something but not really knowing what that is or what's going to help me get there. I don't know, it's all a bit of a work in progress, but either way, I'm glad I'm able to both be more flexible with my training and actually be okay with that. I like hard work, and sessions that are half-assed really are never going to be my jam, right? But more of what I mean is that it's okay to change my mind about the direction I want to apply that hard work based on what's enjoyable and attractive and actually fun on any given week or any given session. So 15 reps of
press-ups,
of deficit push-ups.
10
reps of curls.
Yeah.
You standing, seated? Standing, seated? What?
I was just standing like regular, just fucking boom.
Alternating?
Yeah.
10 each side? Yeah. And then 10 GHD sit-ups?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Sweet, what do you want to start on first? Rock off for ski. Actually, yeah, rock off for ski.
Okay.
Right.
Well, hang on a sec. Surely we can rock off and then the person who wins gets to choose what they do.
All right, yeah.
Because otherwise you'd try and lose. You can't have anybody trying to lose. It's not in the spirit of the game.
No, okay, yeah. All right.
What would you rather start on?
The ski yoke.
Yeah,
It's
same.
the worst.
Yeah, same.
Right. we'll
Okay,
just
ready?
rock off- Yeah. Fuck. Right. Okay.
2 in a row today.
I need to get some little weights from Kel. Yeah.
If I'm in the midst of a primarily functional bodybuilding cycle, but one of my friends that I haven't seen in a year is in town and he wants to do a 25k hike in the mountains, then I'm not going to say no. But actually what's most important is I'll actually be able to enjoy the process. Obviously this is all very counterintuitive to the Goggins style, stay the course and commit to your goals approach. But right now, in all honesty, my goal is to have a particular emotional experience of being flexible with my training. And that emotional experience is feel less ambient anxiety about making changes according to what's actually going to be fun for me that week.
Oh, just wipe the salt off my face.
It's not as easy as it looks to doing fizz in a sauna.
There's so much sweat in my eye, I can't see anything. It's so warm, man. That fan should be used as a fucking doorway, just not doing anything. Paperweight. It's got to be minimum 35 degrees in here. It's no cooler in here than it is outside. Whew. It's fun though. Say again?
The hardest working, least useful fan.
Yeah, hardest working, least useful fan, yeah.
It's a black t-shirt in a black gym and 35 degrees was a mistake.
We are basically in a sweat box.
Yeah. Yeah. Big time.
Big time. One of the things that Dylan and I were talking about yesterday is obviously I left the Marines 12 years ago, something like that. Dylan left the Marines 12 hours ago. Yeah, basically a couple of days ago. One of the downsides of the mindset that you can develop in the military is that you can think that, I think you said it very well, you think you've got a monopoly on hard work.
Yeah.
So you can start to think that because you're a fucking Royal Marines commando, you graft hard all the time just by existing and nobody else works hard at all. And then you come out into the civvy world and you're like, actually, on a day-to-day basis, unless we're in the theatre of war, they work probably harder than we do a lot of the time.
Well, for me, just on exercise.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I'm like, I have to kind of keep myself in check and keep myself anchored and remind myself frequently that just because I am an ex-Marine, served in Iraq and Afghanistan, ex-Team GB athlete, 5 Guinness World Records, blah, 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 that doesn't mean that I can now put my feet up forever and develop a level of entitlement and arrogance around expecting things to come easy or think that I can be excused from working hard. And even when we were talking about it yesterday, it kind of made me realise that maybe I've been doing that a little bit and kind of letting myself off the hook a bit too much and making a few excuses. And those days are over. So now, from now on, I work harder again. This is me holding you accountable to keeping me accountable. And that workout was stage 1 of that because I've now lost about 9 kilos of body weight just in the last 30 minutes.
That was so much worse than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It seemed on paper like quite an easy workout. But that's just temperature. Like
Yeah,
that, if
yeah.
you were doing that in a gym in the UK or just somewhere with actual air conditioning, that wouldn't have been anywhere near as much of a lick, but that was gross.
I mean, you're pouring with sweat, but sometimes that's fun. Like, I think it feels a bit uncomfortable to be like completely disgustingly covered in sweat for 5 seconds. And then when you're covered in sweat, you're like, well, this is it now. So I might as well just kind of crack on. So you just kind of push through.
You can't, well, yeah, once you're completely soaked, you can't,
We can't get any wetter.
Yeah. You're just going to
Keep
stink
it clean. Yeah, right. Quick little cool down, some stretches, and then home to a cold shower.
Yeah.
Good work, bro.
Sweet. Happy days.
I don't even really think I know what functionality in training means anymore, and nailing down a specific objective for my training is hard right now and something I'm working on. Balancing strength, functional hypertrophy, conditioning, athleticism, etc. is always the goal, and that's still what I'm trying to do now. But I'm at the stage where I'm, at the very least, slightly more able to enjoy some of the benefits of being a little bit less rigid with my program.